Bit low. Seriously? Why is it not doing it? Hi. Okay. I'll wait for a few people to connect. Welcome, tribe. I looked at the time and I was like, oh, crap, we're starting. I was talking to Shelley. Hello, Shelley. We'll wait for the people to connect. Yes, tonight I am going to be giving away 2 free 1-hour readings. At the end of the video, I will select the 2 people and Shelley can give you, Giggle can give you the information. Morning. And that way you can get my information for the website and touch base with me and we can tee up your booking. How are we all? How is the frequency with everyone with this joyous twin flame? We were having the great debate connected to the twin flame journey and connected to, yeah, great debate, journey and connected to, yeah, great debate. Hello, Goddess, Queen Mother, welcome. Hello, Terry. Aussie. Hello, Bashir. Hello, Lisa. Yeah, the frequency, I think, over the last 3 nights, for me personally, tuning into it, joy of being psychic, it's like, oh, wow, man. It has been pretty intense, but I have written down the frequency per Zodiac sign, so I can give you a heads up. I've written it down on my table. I've got a gorgeous tiled table, and I've tuned into the energy. So I am going to give you a reading of each element and go into what's happening with each Zodiac sign as well. And I'll give you the energy of what's happening. And for me in Australia, we're moving into the retrograde as of 12 o'clock tonight. And probably for the last 3 days, the frequency has really been gaining in momentum. So again, I'll touch base with some of you and then we'll get started. We'll wait for people to connect. Now, this is going to become a regular thing where I'll try and do it providing everything goes according to plan. December may be difficult, but I am going to be available for emergency readings in December. I do see a lot of transformations happening around that time, and it can be mass separation, so to speak. So, forewarned. Also, with the frequency, hello, Dawn. Just tuning into the energy of weather and patterns. I know in America, some of you guys have been experiencing, like, how do I put it? There's changes of seasons. Hi, Jen. But I know you guys tend to have more that kind of tropical aspect with, what do you guys call it? See, we call it cyclones, but yours are, what are they called? Twisters. Okay, this is the problem with being on the opposite side of the world. You've got to kind of get all the terminology correct. I'm actually seeing a date connected to a weather pattern, which I will give you the heads up with that. You're going to find it's going to be either side of the moon. The energy around that time as well. There you go, tornadoes. So either side of the full moon, I feel the frequency is going to peak. And also a lot of our energy around that time as well. Hello, Spiritual Gifted 23, welcome. So, do we have any newbies here? Welcome to any newbies. Welcome to the tribe. Yes, I'm a bit casual, I apologise, but this is me. Going in. Yeah. Yes, the frequencies for the feminines are changing. I'm going to have to plug my phone in because we've been gas bagging for about an hour in the great debate. And the way I had set it up was to have it sideways, but it's not negotiating with me, so I'm going to have to readjust everything. Shit happens. I'm getting a tripod shortly. Now, generally speaking, I have another device, but I haven't directly connected it at the moment. I have with me off, and I can bugger that off. The death card. Okay, so hit me with it. How is everyone's frequency going? We're kind of lopsided, aren't we? Jeez. too many that side. If you only knew. Feeling good, empowered, need to move forward. Look, some of the frequencies are very much like this anticipation, wanting to move forward, feeling that need and desire to get everything done. It's a very fast-paced frequency, and the planets are doing that. But there is changes in a sense that you'll feel one frequency and then it's going to quickly shift and it's going to swap. And with that, you're going to have to keep grounded, because for some zodiac signs, just tuning into the energy, some of you are not feeling it, but there's external situations going on. And it sort of feels for your particular group, there's things coming at left field. You're feeling the vibration, so to speak. And see, some of you will be picking it up in layman's terms of, you know, fast-paced energy, really needing to get things done. That's the beginning cycle of the pickup of the frequency. Now, a lot of you who have been getting very tired, it's because you're having an upgrade. Now, especially connected to ascension symptoms. I was discussing this with a client the other day and with a girlfriend. What you need to understand is, with this transformation does, for some of you, come some gifts. So it may be that you're experiencing things to a degree where you don't even know how, you know, how do I put it? You can stand and you're going to directly absorb their frequency. And you can feel all of a sudden an onset of panic, or you'll pick up their energy and it's like it's sponging and collecting. Now, because you're changing, you're sensing these vibrations at a higher ratio. Now, the question was asked to me, when does this adjust? And the only way I could explain it to her was, it's a bit like when you are having a type of medication and it's, you know, it needs to absorb into the system. What happens with your upgrade is, with that frequency coming in, it takes time to adjust and settle in. So it's like the frequency is morphing back and forward, and it can be very unsettling. It can cause nausea. It can cause dizziness, lack of appetite. Then you can be super hungry, very fatigued. And I had that last week. You know, my upgrade started coming through. And I mean, I've been seeing things all my life. That's part of my gift. But a lot of it has been upgrading to a point I'm sensing auras and energies. The other day I was sitting on a veranda and it was like super strange. The air literally felt like it was holding a vibration of a time. And it was like, I said to the person I was with at the time, oh my God, that feels like that's super strange. And they said to me, what do you mean? Hi, Carmen. Did you hear the burnout? It's a coming. Okay, so it was like in the air, it was feeling like 1980. And I mean, that's a weird statement alone. And I said to the person behind me, did you feel that? And they went, yeah. And I explained what I felt. You're in Clarkson, your sprinklers are crazy. And then they said, hey, we were thinking the same thing. That's really strange you said that. So it's almost like old energies are coming through and they're disturbing the peace, so to speak, and which is relevant because we are getting to a point where with the retrograde, it's taking us back in snippets through to 2010. Some of it is going to affect our career. Now, somebody asked me if I could tune into energies connected to career, and yes, I'm going to be doing that. So I'll try and do it this month, but I'm separating the readings so that they're the romance and you know, the finances, because these transformations, it was like they were thirsty. So I've separated the readings regardless. So you'll have your romance side of things with general, and you've got a financial reading. So if you want to look at it, I've psychically tuned into it and I've kept them separate. Okay, so just a heads up about that. Now, with the energies and the downloads you're getting, when it starts streaming into you, it's going to be very difficult to cope, okay? So if you need to use crystals or bath salts, when you're with a person with that frequency, if it's becoming overwhelming, even if you're alone, you won't be able to avoid the dynamic of the frequency. So the only thing you really can do is breathe through it, experience it, understand it is temporary. It's not remaining that way. It's moving through. Do something to sidetrack yourself. Have a shower, which can wash that vibration away, and try and tune into something else. I mean, at times what I do is really clear the house. But look, even using crystals, which I've got my black stone, which I usually have with me to protect me against psychic attacks, you'll know in your house as well, you need to be wary of the home with this transformation that we're undergoing. Now, that'll be right, I didn't even bring the dates. Okay, so the dates I have been seeing, there can be a shift on the 5th. Obviously, with the retrograde, there can be some things coming at left field. Now, it doesn't have to be that you visually see them right away, but what you may experience is the download connected to it. Now, there is a transformation coming about where feminine's energy is going to become more fatigued. Through that, yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm like, fuck. Through that, what's going to happen is all this forward motion divine feminines had, and females in general, you're going to feel very fatigued, and you're going to really have to utilize that masculine side of your energy. Now, with the masculine's energy, happy birthday, their energy is picking up. Now, some of that can come through in an aspect of anger, and you may be experiencing theirs. Some of it will be panic, and I do know for some masculines, they've been having panic attacks. They're very angry. They're looking at direct situations, and, you know, they're getting triggered connected to it, which is transforming their birthday. Every October, baby, happy birthday. Hopefully by next year, I'm going to be doing birthday readings as well as an additional. So with the transformation of it, you're going to get the downloads of the agitation, the anger, and there are things coming at 360 for them. Now, the next 2 weeks may be very high in frequency. If you visually see your twin and you feel vibrationally they're looking all okay, it's deeply simmering under the surface, and it's all I can hear in my head is the Kesha song, This Place Is About to Blow. It's literally very like a volcano ready to erupt. It feels very agitated. Now, there is a point between the 5th and the 7th, which is a transformation time. Hi, Stefan. And with it, it can be a 360. You're going to need to be incredibly organized to deal with your workload. If you have things that are not finished, try and use this time as soon as possible. I know for me, we're moving into the 5th hair in Australia tomorrow, or as of tonight. And like I said, for the last 3 days, the energy has been picking up in frequency. You will be also experiencing that. And I've intuitively felt that from the 5th onwards, it's going to be difficult to complete tasks. It's going to be like the additional retrograde frequency that we had around August. That can be for a temporary time. It doesn't mean to say that you won't be moving forward, but even with the people creeping back, it's there as an energetic assessment. Don't get paranoid that if people are coming back to retreat, because their karmic cycles were actually ending, even within the twin flame connection. The beginning stage of it through to where it's been, you can deem it as a karmic connection during the transformation stage. So the lessons you learn, the lessons they learn at a spiritual level is a karmic cycle. So sometimes we are getting very confused at the moment saying, are they my twin, aren't they? I can explain to you a few ways you can actually know that they're your twin. One is the telepathic connection. It does look like that during the time of the karmic cycle. Now, obviously, if it's to the point where there is domestic violence, etc., that's a very different frequency. They will display at times aspects of that frequency depending upon their situation, but it is the catalyst for transformation in this time frame. Now, a lot of this energy is moving through When I mention August and the Lionsgate portal, people are misunderstanding. That energy and that time frame is set for 6 months. So that cycle and that transformation time from that frequency at that point is set in motion for 6 months, okay? So we're still in that frequency, and sometimes some things that happen around that time prior are going to bounce back into our current energy to move us forward. There are a lot of downloads connected to numbers for you guys, and individually you should definitely research it when you're seeing these signs and synchronicities, because they're direct messages for you. Now, the way in which you can interpret angel numbers, again, as I said, I am going to be having angel numbers on this channel. I'm going to also host them on my website, because the way in which you decipher the angel numbers is very difficult connected to twin flames. It's quite unique. Now, from a spiritual psychic point of view, when you're looking at it, you need to remember what you're thinking at the time, what you were processing at the time. It could be, for instance, you're looking at your financial position and you're like, okay, what do I do? How do I look at this? And you're still twin. It's duality. So the more you're stepping into your energy, dealing with your aspect of accountability and things that keep you safe, the more you, if necessary, you will see signs and synchronicity. So that's a very separate energy. When you are tuning into your twin, it has multiple meanings, because when you're hearing it and then you need to remember what you're thinking, it then gives you a sentence. It's then explaining it to you. Like I've said before, there was a point where I was walking and it was a connection between intuition, animal totems, number synchronicities, that the mindset I had at the time, it was very comical. It's basically like conversations with universe. And it was very much directly discussing aspects that I was thinking of at the time. So pay attention to the numbers. Now, some of you will be saying 555. Now, 717 is coming back up again. 111. Keep an eye on them. Your group may be different where you're seeing different numbers. It's not that you're not on track and then you're not in the group and moving forward. You are. Your path is all individual. Try not to get triggered connected to another twin flames journey. Now, when you do the research into the twin flame journey, we need to be very mindful to our tribe. Now, what can happen, and it's written, you can read up on it, the direct connection of our third eye of fear-based frequencies of the ego can directly sabotage other people's unions. So when you're needing to meditate upon a situation, you need to be cautious about how you're feeling within that frequency. And especially when you're triggered at that point, be very selective about who you talk to while you're meditating on it. If you need to go to a reader, go to a reader that is a twin flame, that is psychic. They're going to understand the dynamic of it in a more dynamic manner. When it does come to looking at your charts, that can assist you with the situation as well. But you need to be mindful that there is a different frequency when it comes to your horoscope and a twin flame reading. So, if you're tuning constantly into the dynamic of they're doing this, they're doing that, meanwhile, London Bridges is falling down, and you're hoping in that frequency that everything is going to fall into place. Yes, it does, but you can take direct action. And if the lesson for your soul transformation is directly part of it, you directly need to deal with that situation at hand at that given point in time. A lot of frustration from certain groups of twins has been experienced in trigger points. Again, it is a temporary energy. It's moving. Now, those of you who have not been seeing synchronicities, please do not panic. It is not saying divine feminine or masculine's fallen off the planet, okay? They haven't. There are different energies you feel in the connection. There is a time when, if you haven't been intimate with twin, it is a particular cycle. It's not to say that the deep spiritual connection isn't there and that the transformation's not happening. It is. It's just happening at a different a different book, a different story. So your purging will happen at a very different level. And that can happen, the frequency of your twin can come through at a lesson stage when they check out in some shape or form and haven't kind of connected that cycle, where another human being will directly transmute that energy to you. And that's where at times we can become confused that, in fact, is this person my twin? That person, regardless, is directly connected to you in some shape or process and move to that next level. So, you know, for those of you who are very new on the journey, don't ever look at a person's journey and say, oh my God, you know, is that how long my journey is going to be? No, it's not. Now, if I said to you, mine's been 17 years, you go, I'm checking the hell out. Each spiritual soul's transformation is at a different level. Now, to me, it makes sense why mine has been so long. From a child, I was psychic. Then with the experiences I've had in my life very separate to twin and leading up, then with the energy of twin in life and soulmate and karmic partners, I've seen each stage of the journey. So I have been in a karmic relationship myself. I have been in a soulmate relationship. I have not been intimate with twin for many years, and then I was, and then you know, so I've seen every side of it, which is why, and then it was an accident I became a reader on YouTube. So it makes sense that I had to experience those dynamics in order to understand the whole ebbs and flows of it. Don't ever get triggered that perhaps the connection has gone because you're not seeing the synchronicities. It's not so. It merely drops off when they're directly focusing attention on themselves. Now, what generally does happen is you will start to see certain signs start creeping in. Now, it'll go totally cold, like a cold case, and you'll be directly dealing with things. When you get things all rode up like ducks, and you're going, I haven't seen anything, this is very strange, that's when the frequency comes back and it starts ebbing up very fast. Now, you may start seeing very odd things like songs and their name in the title, or synchronicities connected to songs that they used to play. 555 will start showing, 414, 717, and it'll just amp up. It'll be any number and every number you can see, but certain numbers can be an indication, but don't panic about it or get paranoid. Regardless, they come back, but they come back at the correct time, which is a direct secondary stage of communication will come through. I think that's what I need to say. There is a transformation in the planets where I feel when Shelley and I did it, it was around the 7th, wasn't it? Where we hit the 0 degree mark. Now, yeah, but then when you do look at it, a lot of these things started happening February, March. Now, when I look back, a lot of the retrograde cycle has directly been connected to 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 2012, 2010. These dates keep coming up. Now, when I look back at dates when transformations happened in my life, in my twin flame journey, in soulmate connections, there was makeups, breakups, makeups, breakups. Now, we're looking at something of a do-over in March next year. So I haven't even directly looked at the astrology. I printed everything out to do the tuning connected to it. It's not the way we're going to think, though. Now, for those of you who have a soulmate connection come in, and you're like, what's going on? Any person who's directly coming back to you is for a given reason, and it needs to be assessed. Do not freak out when they are coming back. Be neutral. Assess the frequency and the energy. Now, there is a karmic calculator that you can use. However, in the research I've done, there are some aspects of twin flames you may experience confusion if you do the calculation and you find there's no direct karma at a theoretical level. It's because your soul path has been karma connected to external people. And I mean even not even twin. Your frequency and energy was there to assist others to transform. So when you do that, older souls can at times not have particular aspects of karma. So when you look at your life and you say, I shouldn't even say it, I'm cursed, this or that's happening. Yeah, no, it's horrible. Trust me, this has been a pretty horrendous year. But there is transformation coming. Okay. Now, when it comes to earth signs, Taurus, I feel, is going to need to be very cautious. Now, external to you guys, what you are experiencing is external dynamics going on. This can be family-related dynamics that's coming up in trigger points. It can be situations where it's another piece of hay on the haystack and it's building up, building up. Now, some of you might be panicking connected to finance. Some of you are sort of feeling that there's no correct decision. You're ebbing and flowing from 4 to 10 in a frequency. Hello, Libra. Now, when I'm saying 10 is at the highest frequency of, hey, I'm getting bloody triggered. 4 is, yeah, I'm kind of coping, and then it's coming out of nowhere. So it's going back in ebbs and flows, and it feels yuck. Now, it's you're connecting with your counterpart in the frequency and energy, plus the downloads we're physically getting. So it is bouncing back and forward. Now, at a financial level, it's like I'm seeing for Taurus energy, your head's spinning. You're getting to a point where it's a bit overwhelming. I feel even so overwhelming is that you're almost like you don't know what to do. You're like, there's no solution. There's no solution. Oh my God, if something else goes wrong, I'm really going to crack. You're going to need to go and try and step away for a bit, do some breathing exercises to cope. Now, I can see some external situations coming about. They're happening outside of you, but you're collecting the frequency. It's almost like because you're saying in your frequency, plus you're getting the downloads, oh my God, if anything happens again, this will be too much. This will be too much. You're actually attracting it like a magnet, and but most of it is connected to the masculine energy, but you're none the wiser of it. In you building that frequency up, what you find is when you get the fatigue, it's killing the ego. Because what happens when we're sick? Just give me water. Do you want toast, love? And you're like, I don't care. I just want to sleep. I want water. I'm going to sleep. It's essential needs. There's no arguing. Somebody could come into the room and you hate their guts and you'd be like, peace out. But that's why we're getting it to hit us so that we do not take direct action. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Andrew, you crack me up. You honestly crack me up. Now, those of you who are just jumping on, as I said previously, the giveaway will be at the end. Also, what I will say is it will become a regular thing. Okay, now Virgos, I'm still going to do a card reading for each element. So just because I'm moving away from Taurus, stay tuned. I'm still going to do some cards for each of the signs. Now, Virgo, you've got some interesting energy. You're like, Barley's, man. I don't want to know. Don't give your power away, okay? Because I feel you have an opinion about something, but you're also not saying anything, and it's simmering under the surface, and that can be very dangerous and volatile. It's almost like how do I put it? When you're the person and you're having a drink and you're like, I'm happy. You loosened up, you had a drink and you're happy, and then someone comes in and bursts your bubble and you're like, I don't like you anymore because you burst my bubble. That's the energy I'm getting. It's like, look, don't take me out of happy hour. I'm in happy hour. Why does this happen? So it's this frustration and irritation because it's becoming a regular occurrence. I can see that this could be a volcanic explosion. Be super careful. Again, for those of you who have a twin that is a Virgo, it's a wave of energy. It's going to come in and go out. So it's It's similar to the frequency of, which one was I saying? Oh, don't worry about it. It's going from 1 to 7, 1 to 7, but it can amp up. But it could very well, if push comes to shove within that frequency, become very brutal verbally. So if your twin is Virgo or you are, care for yourself, speak your truth. But you're going to be receiving twins energy with that vibration. Capricorn, deep, deep reflection. You're meditating upon something. You're not happy with what you're seeing. Now, those of you who have a masculine in a karmic situation, they're really not impressed. I feel their base chakra connected to family is very off. It's not impressed. They're not feeling that spiritual connection where they're at emotionally. There is a lot of control connected to people in their surroundings, and they're feeling quite overwhelmed by the energy in their domain right now. They're deeply reflecting, and the thing is, yeah, but they've still got choices in their life. What's happening in their situation is they're looking at it and they're going, some of it is money related. Now, a lot of times what is going on with the masculines is self-worth related energy. And I know this to be true, even if I talk to Shelley and I'm like, you know what, blah, blah, blah. If a person does not have the feeling in a connection to, how do I put it? Don't shoot me. We're in a Venus retrograde. If a person is looking at their life and they're with you and they think you're up here and they think they're down here, even if their attitude might be not showing that, what will come across is, hey, if I've got to be the jerk, I'll be the jerk so that you can leave, because it would be nicer if you did, because you could be happier. That's very much what does go on. And that is a them problem, not a you problem, although it does in the end feel like it's a you problem, because it's offensive, so to speak. It can feel, you can get offended, hurt, betrayed. Okay. Libra. Oh, God. Libra. What go on, Libra? You're working your asses off, okay? You're trying to keep your mind off things. Too many. You're trying to keep your mind off things. Now, you're sensing a lot of vibrations at the moment, but it's coming in ebbs and flows. Lovely birthday, Libras. Good old twin flame Librans. Okay, so you're like, I'm focused on my money. I'm doing what I need to do. You can see problems, okay? At the moment in a frequency, how do I put it? You intuitively are feeling something is, you're needing to prepare, okay? So with your energy, you're going to look at it and you're looking at your foundation, your finances, your home, trying to bring the balance in the situation. And that's a cliche when I say that, but not. You are intuitively sensing something is off balance and it's going to change. So there can be moments where you're at a 1 and you're on fire and you're getting things done, and then the energy is picking up and it's knocking you for 6. Now, whatever zodiac sign you are, regardless, depending on what your twin is going through in their life, you're going to experience the vibration very differently. Now, if you have a twin who is very suppressed or toxic, the energy you will feel can be nauseous, very, very nauseous at times, very overwhelmed. And you'll have the ebbs and flows like a hangover. It can be very, very vibrationally off. You do need to, around that time, clear your energy, shower, and move through that frequency, but it will kind of lift, okay? Yeah. Twin, masculine, feminine. Now, Libras is going up and down, up and down. I don't think it's even getting to a point it's having time to go up. It's very much here, then there, here, then it's calming down, but transformations are happening. So you're getting the downloads. And look, the reality is, even if twin can be toxic. If they have codependency related issues, that's toxic. It's the energy to suppress. It's the band-aid effect, we call. So it's the band-aid effect to prevent directly dealing with the emotional trauma of a given situation, to suppress that frequency. Okay, so all of us as human beings have some dynamic. Can be smoking, drinking, excess food, excess exercise. It's something. It's if you have a healthier habit, it can be to your benefit or your detriment, but it needs to be balanced nevertheless. So in their frequency, that may feel completely normal to them, and they may be able to function incredibly well with it. It's not to say it's right or wrong. It's the frequency they're going to physically feel, but you will, in the ebbs and flows of that within the toxicity, actually receive that frequency. So even if you were to choose to be with a soulmate, you're physically going to feel their purging, their detox, and their frequency. So crystals are very essential for those of you who are experiencing that. And if you are getting triggered, book readings to actually unload and release, so to speak. Okay. Financially speaking, Libra energies are really moving forward. Now, keep focusing on the energy of what you've got in front of you. I know some of you at times are getting overwhelmed and going, am I doing this right? Is it going to be a success? Just keep going. Don't even question it and try not to tune into it. If people come towards you, try and keep as grounded as you can and intuitively tune into what the lesson is, because it can be just, balancing everything out. Hello, Sally. Gemini. Ooh, Gemini. Sinking feeling in the stomach, okay? I'm still going to go back and do all the signs. I'm just giving you a snippet of the energy, and then we'll do a reading connected to the twin masculine and feminine. And then I'll give away the free reading at the end. Please like the video, guys, so it can be shared. And then next time I do the promotion, people will know I do promotions and they'll know to come back. Okay. Gemini, you guys feel a tad bit anxious, okay? It's this ebb and flow of the stomach. It's like it may be that you've heard something that is making you feel a bit triggered. It might be an old vibration that's coming up, or it could be a 3D direct situation that you're looking at and you're going, this is making me feel sick. Now, it doesn't have to be sick. It doesn't feel right. It feels quite like unsettling. It is giving you a kind of vibration where you may wish to react. Now, you guys feel stuck, like real stuck, and it's like you're saying one thing, but then it can really do a 360 and it's coming back again. So you really feel pulled in two directions. Now, this can be an external situation as well. So counterpart is generally like a karmic. Yes, it is. Within the cycle, it is similar to, we'll answer questions at the end, honestly. So just enjoy listening, write your questions down, and I'll answer them all at the end. During the cycle, it is the same. Even a soulmate has a frequency of that. At times, the soulmate will come in to physically give you an idea of what your self-worth is. So it can be a very humbling, nurturing partner that will come in, especially if you've been through the bushes backwards in your life. A beautiful frequency energy will come in to show you that you have a right to be happy, and it will be a nurturing time for your soul while counterpart spiritually grows and transforms. And it's your transformation as well, because you accepting that factor that there is beauty and there is love in the world is a different frequency to directly experience. Okay, so Gemini, you guys are agitated. You feel stuck on the bloody fence. But watch for people's opinions, okay? Because your ebb and flow may be hating, but that's for you to do, right? You know, if somebody was to come up to you, and that's the crazy thing, when we want a listening friend, especially in the twin flame journey, and I've been there, this person's name, and you keep mentioning it, and they're like, fuck, if this person mentions it one more time, I'm going to go crazy. When in theory, you're just trying to comprehend and understand, and you think you're going nuts. So your friendships might even trigger you. So you could get to the point that you could physically be going, I'm allowed to be angry with the motherfucker. Don't you be tripping. Because it's not a judgment, it's a process. It's a mental process. So when you're in it and your friends are like, you should do this, you should do that, you need to be clear to your friendships, you know, and check them, you know, because it may be, especially during this retrograde, that they're not coping spiritually as well. And a lot of other souls are going to be following suit with us. So we do need to be compassionate, connected to that. That it won't just be us that's transforming. We're assisting other people transforming, especially when they're watching us go through it. They're like, fuck, what's going on with you? And then other people are catching up directly behind you. So be mindful. A person may physically look all very humble and wonderful, but then you're discussing that vibration and they're going to receive that vibration. Vibrations tag on to other people. That's why, as an empath, if you walk into a room, it's going to directly connect to you. So the cleansing and protecting your aura and your chakras is very important. Or you're going to, because that negative energy can then go home with you. For me, personally, if people have been in my home and I sense an energy, I clear it. And it's not like, yes, I've got to just, no, I sense it because I'm feeling the vibration. I'm trusting my gut instincts. Now, when you're being burnt, you start questioning those, the intuition and your gut instincts. By removing it, you're not absorbing it like a sponge. Now, if you're going to take everything somebody says personally, you're not only holding your own frequency, you've absorbed their problem and you're owning it. So you now have two problems. That's the song, right? I've got 99 problems. Yeah. I'm just saying. Okay. Aquarius. Who do we have in the house that's an Aquarian? Please stand up. Aquarius, calling all Aquarians. You're Aquarius, son. Okay. Son, you may be feeling that you're going in a particular direction and you're like, you don't know what's coming. I'm just going to say that. Now, it's going to come out of left field. I'll say that much. You're going to be oblivious to a transformation that is coming. And it's going to take you by surprise. And I feel it's while you're out with your friends, okay? They're not telling me what it is. I will tune into it after. They're not telling me what it is, but it's a surprise. You're in your own energy. Pay attention to your surroundings, okay? Even if you're in your element, you're out with your friends, it might be you going out. Don't get triggered by what they say to you, okay? Because it's like, you know, when you're out and you're like, yeah, whatever. And then it's either they say something to you and it causes a trigger point because you're in your own frequency. White light yourself, and it's not that they're negative people, but don't believe everything you hear, okay? Just stay grounded. Don't believe everything you hear because your frequency is physically, it can be a real quick turnaround. Wait to hear things from the horse's mouth. Yeah, well, they're picking up frequency too, love. So it's like I see you either at the movies, it's like I'm seeing three people at the movies, at a club, drinking, something. You're out in broad day. It's the evening, mind you. This is an evening situation. And I'm feeling that you're either going to see somebody accidentally or you're going to hear something and you're going to be like, are you serious? But whatever's happening is happening very quickly. It can be that you hear a transformation has happened, I mean, yeah, I'll leave it at that at the moment, but something is going to be told to you of the evening. So for the Aquarians, I'm feeling an evening setting, out directly connected to friends. But regardless, this could be a separate message for each Aquarian. Friends, drinks, movies, nighttime. I'm hearing you hear some news and it's coming in quick. Now, Cancers. Okay, how many Cancerians do we have in the house? Cancerians, please stand up. Is Andrew going? Cancer is like amped. Now, something is going to anger Cancer this week connected to this retrograde. The energy is picking up, so I'm feeling this agitation flowing and moving forward, okay? So it can be frustrations connected to something they're visually experiencing, seeing, and just really getting to a point where they're nostalgic of easier times, honestly. It's like, what the fuck is this? You know, what have I got myself into? That's what I'm hearing. It's what have I got myself into? And this very much is, I swear I just saw an orb. And it's going to go from, it's going to be at 10 and it's going to blow up. So whatever they're dealing with, they're nostalgic about simpler times. And it's like 360. Look, they're focused on what was more beautiful, honestly. And whatever has been left behind or breaking down in front of them, they're just connected to family, connected to love, a time where things were simpler. That light's driving me nuts. Scorpio. Oh, you poor guys. You guys are feeling at times where it's, again, 1 to 10. Now, some Scorpions have been experiencing 2 to 3 days of frequency building up. It can just be, look, if you're very busy, what you'll find is you're not going to feel the frequency. Okay? It could be. So yeah, you're not going to feel it as much because you're busy. But once you check out of that busy mind, you start receiving the downloads and the frequencies. Again, this is connected to counterpart, masculine energy, feminine energy. It's like a plug-in. Spiritually speaking, the more you're tuned into yourself and connections, you'll even have that as you spiritually grow with many connections, but you'll still, regardless, feel that frequency. Now, your agitation is being pushed down. Some of you have or will be experiencing panic attacks, and they'll be very high. Reflection, which is regardless normal, but it's almost like, am I going to make the right decision? Am I on the right road? How is this going to come about? Can you bring back the white tie, please? Oh, do you miss it when it's warmer? I do have a black one as well. You'll be very impressed to know that I'm actually able to tie my own man ties. Yeah. Okay, Pisces. Pisces. You guys are really concerned mentally. You're very worried. This can be connected to counterpart or for you. There is a energy where you're very worried, okay? So it's a very sad energy, but you're very much reflecting. So this frequency is very much of the regret, cruel energies, things that have transpired between you and twin, just really not feeling good about the direct situation. Now, Scorpio is feeling imbalanced, that they're wanting justice, that, is there ever going to be luck returning? What's going on? Why is this such? Cancer. You guys are feeling like, nah, there were better times. This doesn't feel correct. Aries, you guys again are going from 1 to 10, but be super cautious not to use your work to avoid the aspects of what you need to reflect upon. I do feel you do have a lot of power within your hands now, but it feels it's all work. Now, I've already tuned into the frequency for the end of the year, and this frequency with Aries is directly transforming, so stay tuned. This energy of work, it's going to become out of balance. You need to keep the balance. It can't just be all work, okay? They're going to find it an overwhelming burden. For masculines who are Aries, they have great, how do I put it? Aries, the zodiac sign, are professional to the core, okay? When I say, look, you give them a task, they're going to get it done through and through. But they work too bloody hard. You work too hard. Now, look at it this way. For those of you who are Aries on here, you can build a pyramid, but you can't take it with you. I'm just saying. I've been rich and I've been poor. We can't take the pyramid with us. Don't burn out, but use those great ideas. For you guys, I feel that this energy is necessary for them to process this information. So it's an aspect of the process, okay? Good morning, Michelle. Capricorn, okay. They can see directly connected to the silence and the meditation as people are manipulating them. So whoever this person is, remember I was saying where the frequency was at, how they were meditating upon the situation, they feel manipulated. They're actually seeing through people who are manipulating them, okay? They're saying, well, are you wanting me for me or were you wanting me for something else? And it's the give and take is off balance. The way they're seeing this person is incorrect. I feel very, masculine energy in general at the moment is going to pick up in frequency where it's getting bugged by the dynamic, really bugged. So even if they had intuition where they were feeling, no, this is quite nice, this frequency is really amping up a notch. And it feels strange, even now tuning into it. We've felt spiritually as feminines in the evolution process that we are ahead. I actually feel they're going to move beyond us. Now, when I say that, I mean whatever's transforming in their life, it's doing a 360, and this is coming about very soon. Now, that's not to say they're turning up on your doorstep and they're going, can we be besties? Or can we reconcile? I'm not saying that, but opening a door is opening a door nevertheless, and it's a transformation for them spiritually, okay? And for them, especially when it comes to Virgo, you're very up in your head. They're very undecided. It's like, you're seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you're like, ugh. Now, Taurus is thinking everything is going to be a bed of roses. Now, I always get different frequencies with cards. Now, the power within is the power within. They're going to have a realization and a 360 where they have the power, but they can turn their dreams into action. So for anyone that has felt sort of stuck, universe is giving you a direct way to look at perhaps how far you've come and what you can achieve. And the block has been the belief within self to manifest those dreams, okay? So some of it is, okay, a lot of times in the journey of what you read is we have a mission, correct, okay, spiritually. Separate to that, if you were to hold on to that, for instance, similar to me for 17 years, you would miss interaction, spiritual growth. You need to be in the moment. Frequency rise, I can update you and tell you what's going on to cope, to show you where these doors are opening. This month, yes, doors are opening. But Taurus is going to get the energy where they're going to have to take the bull by the horns and make some of those doors open, okay? I didn't read Gemini, did I? Okay, Gemini. The left or right can be directly connected to career, but it's also about really this twin transforming and making a dream come true. It's like, how do I put it? They don't trust someone who they're directly dealing with, but it's a transformation. It's moving the energy forward to a point where you're becoming ambitious. Please hit the like button, lovelies. Now, it may be for this zodiac sign that you have been quite focused on work. Now, regardless, if you have a twin that is a Gemini, understand that while they work, they meditate. They're multitaskers. They're similar to Librans, but they're perfectionists as well. Okay? They're improving it in their life because they have very strict energy connected to themselves at the moment. It's like they're seeking perfection. But while they're doing that, they're meditating upon how they're feeling. Now, don't think that because the person that is the twin flame Gemini, that they're not directly processing, okay? It's going to come in ebbs and flows. On the fence can be connected to what road to go or how to move forward, okay? But it does feel, and I'm seeing the energy of back and forward, back and forward. How am I going to get to that place? Now, I do feel that you're waiting to gain clarity externally to make your assessment. You're listening very attentively to understand what's going to happen. Okay, Libra. For you guys, the financial aspect of things are going to start flowing. Now, I was saying that you're working hard. Now, if masculine or feminine, if you guys are feeling this frequency, don't panic, okay? Because at the moment, I feel a lot of work is being done. Some of you may not be experiencing 3D visuals of the transformation, but you're sensing it. But some of you are getting up in your head whether it's going to be a success, if you're going to have enough. Christmas, New Year, oh my God, the purging. There is a transformation, but if this is masculine, they're feeling this is the key to success, okay, is to get their finances in order, and spiritually for them at an emotional level, they feel that this has been a block for their self-esteem to open up. True. Until we get the downloads again, and then we're like, retrograde. Okay, Aquarius. Again, as I said, something coming in very quickly. Now, I'll do the reading for masculine and feminine. I'll answer a few questions while I'm pulling the cards very separately. No joke, right? Any questions while I'm getting ready? No questions. Get ready for the news coming in. Obviously, you need to, absorb the information I said at the beginning of the video of what to experience. And these 360s can come about between, that's really strange. Okay, the energy at the moon is going to be similar to a lunar eclipse. That's what I'm hearing. That is on the 9th. The 5th, we're retrograde, which for me is tonight at 12. The 7th through to the 11th I've been shown is going to be a time of perhaps heavier frequency, but it's a reset button, so it can be transformations happening in our lives as well as twin. Oh, interesting. Hello. Feminine. Got a jumper. Feminines get grounded, okay? Look, as we come into duality and we are more balancing ourselves, we're both. We always were both. Generally, you find at the beginning stage of the journey, whoever directly was the okay, you sort of have an energy where you come together. at some point, a person, both tend to get triggered at a point, right? Feminine energy may have thought it and thought this is a bit overwhelming. Masculine directly was triggered and was like, whoa, this energy is too heavy. And they retreat. And then the runner chaser mode comes about. And that can be in slight forms depending on how spiritually evolved you are. It can be stalk texting. It can be they're ghosting you. They come in, they come out. Sometimes years ago, can be weeks. Some twins can actually be living together for many years and then have that final purge at the very end cycle and have a break only to return after spiritually to tie up loose ends and spiritually evolve. So there's different cycles for each group. However, wave 2 is very much going through a transformation that will be merging to possibilities of unions and reunions between now, well, it has been this year really, the transformation happening. And I would say the catalyst of it is starting at this point now, moving through to March next year is a window, but there are windows, which is unfortunate really during the Venus retrograde, but it's divinely guided. Your energy is very different in the frequency connected to twin than it is within a normal astrology reading. You will get snippets of your 3D life, but it's a 5D connection. Plus, to get it into that position to be that 3D connection, the evolution and the transformation comes about. So it tends to feel like the frequency of give and take. So initially, the chaser, who really didn't own their power and the masculine retreated, you could have been the feminine retreating, holding the masculine energy. So it doesn't dictate to the sex. It's who was the initial runner. And that's where you can connect the dots of what energy and frequency you hold. However, both at a spiritual level can run, but there will be initial runner. At another level, what can happen is the detachment phase, which is when it's coming closer to that 360 transformation. With that, what can happen is both can run, okay? If you stop and face your fears and do the work, so you'll get triggered. It might be one day you think, God, I hate their guts. Then another day you're thinking, no, I don't want to be alone forever. I want a relationship. So, move through the frequencies and energies because they're all blockages within the chakra. Really face the aspects of your fears. And I think a lot of people this year have. When you do come into duality with facing your demons, you will become both frequencies and balancing and utilizing both of the masculine and the feminine. So sometimes you'll be listening to a reading and it might be, your rising sign sometimes can even be what so their direct sign can become your rising sign and your direct sign can become theirs. So when you're listening to readings, sometimes you're like, so who am I listening about? So was that me? So deciphering it, connect the information of what you're absorbing, but always look at the masculine as your energy as well as your counterpart and feminine in your energy, how it directly connects to you and the way perhaps you can look at it in an aspect of a perspective because we hold both frequencies. But the direct 3D problem, you can see that within the readings too. Now, masculines are ready to do the rebuild, okay? What's utopia? I meant you are too much, but look, Hello, everyone. I'm not going to read the comments so I can tune in. Okay, masculines are having the heart chakra activated. 7. Again, weird. I said the 7th, it's number 7. So transformation happening as of the 7th, okay? Now, they're moving away from challenging times, and this card was up a few days ago, connected to the twin flame. Why the love of God is... Put it up in the air and then it won't glare. Okay, so they're moving away from the aspect of, you know, feeling that they need to run away from their fears. It can be that they're dealing with the aspects of adversity. They're tired of the aspects of the blocks, and I think they're having a realization that every time they get into a karmic situation or a work-related environment, or they go through the runner stage, they're looking at the direct dynamic and realizing that they're tired of the constant dramas that they're walking into. Some of them are directly trying to face the aspects of those demons and the problems that have occurred on the 3D. Others of them are going to have this realization in a 360 of how to directly remove themselves from toxic related situations. Now, that can be at a financial, spiritual, or 3D mode. Now, in meditation connected to that, when they've had the move away from the conflict and the challenging times, I feel around the 9th, they're going to get very tired, okay? Oh, God. They're going to get very tired. If my phone cuts off, I'll be back. I forgot to keep this on. Okay, so there is rest and reconsider. They're meditating upon what to do and how to move forward from this situation. Now, oh, God. See, life wasn't meant to be easy. They're wanting to get to a point where they can actually make some decisions without stressing, but they don't feel that they've got enough information, okay? External, they're really going through the aspect of the awakening. Their crown is opening. And again, 7, 7. On the 9th, I'm seeing that they're going to feel very confused. They may isolate themselves. They may retreat. At that time, you may feel a lower frequency or it may amp up. Now, what they're intuitively tuning into is the Lovers, okay? The direct connection. Seven. 7. 9. Again, I mentioned 5. Okay. Feminines, you're doing everything you can to physically build that stable foundation. Get grounded, feel at home, feel better within yourself. You're doing everything you can. You also may be dealing with family-related dynamics, or, you know, what you feel connections are. There's a lot of meditation connected to this area. It can be that you've done the work to a point you are feeling more grounded. There may be conversations for some of you connected to romance. Now, this can be with twin, or it can be in a meditated stage with your broken heart of how to directly look at it, and you're feeling really conflicted. You're thinking of the many chapters that you directly experienced with the person, and it's really hard. Now, you're looking at other connections and really looking at them like they're beautiful. Now, remember, it's Venus retrograde. So the aspect of the Venus retrograde can tell lies to us in the first 1 to 2 weeks. Try not to get triggered by that. Be within the environment, because what you think is beautiful, you may not feel once you've gone back in that. It's like going in a time chamber backwards, okay? Okay, now you're taking the lead spiritually, and it can be that you're dealing with your contracts, your paperwork. Some of you might be moving home, looking at the plan of your life and what you're going to do. They're actually watching you and looking at it and saying, hey, I think that's what I need to do. And it's terrible now because the computer's frigging with the frequency. some of you don't even know how directly you're going to confront this if you were to have the conversation. And it's a bit of fear and agitation connected to that. You haven't detached, but you're retreating to meditate. Okay, you're doing the healing, and this week is going to bring about some things to actually purge that connection of how to feel about that, even with the broken heart. It can be